sucks, like why them and not me? If you are that girl, if you are that person, this video is for you. The fact that I get to dress up now and get dressed for people that deserve it, and that being you, gives me life, because I remember when I was dating and I would dress up, you know, us girls, we get dressed, we get 45 minutes to look good, a little longer, if you do more of a beat, and then for nothing to work out. If anyone's gonna see how bomb I'm looking, it's gonna be you girls, because today we are talking about my favorite word for the last 2 years is the word transformation. Okay, did you girls know that this 2025 year is the year of the snake? And you wanna know something so crazy? First of all, the first time I got a snake anything, I should have known it was like a premonition, like a prediction coming to life. Like it was like if I was getting signs from like my spirit guides, is because I bought this really pretty gold-plated bracelet, and it's a snake shape. And ever since then, I've been seeing like snake symbols, not a lot, but I've seen them enough where it's like, that's weird. And I remember buying this like the scent, I call it a scent pocket, but whatever they're called. It's like that little scent that's like a pocket that you put in your car, where the AC ventilation is, and you add the Bath and Body little fragrance thing for the car. I have no idea what it's called. But I started using that last year, and I've just been seeing like snakes, like symbols like that, because if I saw a real snake in real life, I don't know, not that I would die, because I like a little nice corn snake, a little tiny one that I can like, but a python, rattlesnake, or anything like that, I respect those animals, absolutely not. The reason I say all of this is because it turns out that my year falls in the year of the snake. And that makes sense, because I have been going through a lot of transformation. And of course, by the way, I did make this bomb ramen. It's so good. If you want the recipe, I will put it down below, or you can watch my YouTube short or my TikTok or my Instagram, the recipe. It's so bomb, and it looks like, I'm like, why am I gonna go out to the restaurant when I could just make this at home? And I was like, no, I don't wanna go out. Like I literally, this is me at home, but I'm bringing it back full circle because y'all know I be rambling. But I was thinking, so the year of 2025, or 2025 is a year of transformation. And when I think about how I dedicated the last 2 years of my life to just quietly living my life and quietly just glowing up, it was my quiet era. And this is not a thing yet. I know, I get it. I know we love a good trend, but let's be some trendsetters, because this 2025 year really should be your quiet year. It should be the year where if you have things about yourself that you're healing from, if you want to be in a better financial situation, if you want to decenter men or women from your life and you don't want to date anymore, or at least for a little bit, if you need to lose some weight or get into your best fitness game, if you are getting over an ex, or a disappointment of any kind, like did you have a failed business, like did you fail a class, did you not graduate on time, whatever the case may be, 2025 is your quiet era. It is the year where you bunker down and you work on yourself of where you want to go and where you want to be, and now is a better time than ever. So of course, naturally, I'm excited that things are clearly have lined up for me, because I don't know why, but 2025 for me does feel like my luckiest year. It is the year where I get everything else that I want, that is on my wish list, and I deserve it. I'm gonna make sure I eat, because last time I was eating here, girl, my food got cold. It was not good, but hold on, let me get a little sip. I do this every time I'm about to start, because girl, I need to eat. Oh, if you don't slurp, you're not eating ramen right. It is. Oh! Let me make sure I don't have anything on my nose. Okay. Hopefully not. Do you guys see anything? Good God. While everyone is out there living their life, getting into relationships, getting married, buying their home, buying their first apartment, traveling, hanging out with their friends, spending all this money on the it bags, while everyone is doing that and you're at home thinking, oh, FOMO, right? Like, I can't afford this. My life sucks. Like, why them and not me? If you are that girl, if you are that person, this video is for you, because 2025 has to be your quiet era. Did you know that 2025 is the year of the snake? And what are snakes tied to? Snakes are tied to transformation. They are all about shedding skin. So am I surprised that all of 2024 I was attracted to symbols of the snake? No, because I'm in alignment now. My life has truly fallen into place ever since I decided to just go quiet. When I decided to go into my quiet era for 2 years, I literally disappeared, didn't say goodbye, didn't say see you later, didn't say I'll miss you. I just dropped off the face of the earth. And when I look back at the videos that I was posting, I posted some of those videos on my YouTube for documentation so that I can watch them back, because I knew that once I made the decisions that I needed to make for me, that my life was going to turn around 360. And sure enough, that has happened. But that didn't happen because I was going out. That didn't happen because I let the voices in my head win, the doubt, the imposter syndrome. You know, I had all of these things going on for myself. And then I executed every single one of those goals and dreams that I had. And then I realized that now that I had made it to a certain point where I can take a sabbatical or a break, then I would. And sure enough, I did. And when I did that, I had gone through I had gone through one heartbreak. And then shortly after 2023, I got over another one. And so it was very consecutive. And I don't regret anything. I highly believe that things happen for a reason. And I always say that you learn so much about yourself when you're in relationships or when it comes to romantic interactions or experiences. And it's true. I decided that I was tired. I was tired of pretending to not care. I was tired of pretending to be a cool girl, a baddie, which I am. But I was tired of feeling like nothing was affecting me, because it hit a point where even though you're strong, and yeah, I guess I could be a little bit detached, as we talked about, and a little bit, unemotional, but there are things that will affect you because you're human, right? And so I definitely was like, okay, I am hurt. I need to kind of slow down, because now I don't have to worry about work, and then I have to worry about my career, and I don't have to worry about my business. I don't have to worry about anything. Like, I made it, I launched my business, and that's all I wanted. And then after a while, I just decided to take a break and do something completely different from the norm, so that I can just reset and just take a break and just assess the things in my life that I haven't had a chance to do, because I have been going to school from like preschool all the way to higher education, which is college. And then from college, between that whole entire time while I was in college, I was building my career as an editor. And then after that, I also was building my career or my business at the same time. So I had school, business, and work. And I finally did it. I finally got to a place in my career where I was proud of myself as a journalist or as an editor. And then I launched my own magazine, and that was great. And then I'm like, okay, I've done everything that I wanted. Now it's time for me to take a sabbatical and enjoy the fact that I'm able to take a little break and then figure out life from there. And I literally changed my life. It feels like it's gonna be 3 years this year, but I really went quiet for like 2 years. And it was very, very, very intentional that I was going to take a break. The 2 years that I went quiet, I detoxed from social. I wasn't posting as much, or if any. Even if I wanted to post something that I thought was funny, even if it was something that was, dangerous that I wanted to share with people, I just didn't engage. I just needed a break from everyone and everything. And that included social media, not just people, or not people, because all the people that I follow are my friends, but like accounts of people doing things that I want to do that I hadn't yet. And it's like, I needed to just disconnect. So the first step is going to be that you need to disconnect from the internet. You need a huge detox, and you need to get back in touch with yourself. The second thing that I did during my quiet era was nutrition. I needed to figure out what was causing me to retain so much water weight, or which I thought I was just like eating and gaining weight. But really with nutrition, I learned a lot about your inner wellness. And I was eating well. I eat really clean for the most part, predominantly, I would say. But I was still not losing weight, and I didn't understand why, considering I was also going to the gym and I was working out and I was doing weights. And turns out that stress is the biggest troublemaker for human beings, because from stress, from overthinking, worrying, whatever, thinking the worst, thinking ahead, assuming, all of this negative energy that creates anxiety means that you are not going to be at ease with yourself. And when your body's not at ease, do you know what they call that? Disease. And when our bodies have a disease, that means that our bodies are dis-ease. That means that they're not at ease, right? They're uneasy. And so when you think about it like that, you're like, yeah, I need to like chill out. So when I understood that nutrition while eating clean was very helpful, I also learned at the same time about the importance of tying your inner wellness to your nutrition. And part of the nutrition conversation was fasting. I would fast maybe once a week, just to kind of allow myself to figure out what it is that I would be craving. And I started doing that, and I started realizing, oh, okay, like when I go to the restaurant, or when I want to go to a restaurant, these are the things that I normally order. And for me, I love a good arugula pear salad with goat cheese, and balsamic glaze. So I got myself stuff to do that. Because now, even if I wanted to overeat, like a second bowl of salad within like an hour of me eating, I can eat another one. And I would be eating so many leafy greens that are so good for my blood type. They're so good for my skin, so good for my everything. And I wouldn't gain weight because it's literally all the food that I want. And do you ever notice how when we eat fast food, we eat that stuff, but it makes us feel really good? It takes away the stress. Well, think about this. This was my mind hack for nutrition. It's like, well, what if the things that are semi-healthy, right? That have like healthy fats, that are not bland in flavor, that have adequate protein, what would they be? And then I'm like, okay, well, I really like the salad I just mentioned, or I really like chicken salad, or I really like, for my bougie girls, I really like, sometimes I'll get a craving of like a little dollop of caviar, bagel with salmon, a little bit of caviar on top. And I need to have little things like this, so when I get hungry, I can make the food that I want and I'm not overeating. And doing that, what happened was that I was satisfying myself with the food that I was eating, that I wanted to eat, that I wanted to run to, that I wanted to have indoors, that felt like a restaurant. And when I ate it, it reduced my stress. So eating the things that I like, that are good for me to maintain to maintain weight or lose weight, it's two things in one. It satisfies my need to eat and my cravings, and it also satisfies me in the sense that I start releasing positive chemicals, right? I start creating dopamine. And so when I tell you that nutrition and wellness are tied together, is because when I started doing that, that's how I started de-bloating. And just making myself look more plush and tight and just clear skin. I mean, just thicker hair. Like, it really started to change my life when I was eating the things that I loved that were also good for me. And that's a really neat trick. So I just thought I'd share that because that really helped me. This wine is so good. I'm gonna have to add the bottle of wine here in case you want to get it. Oh, lip girl. See, I'm dressed up for you, but I don't go to second base, girls. Not on the first date. Because, you know, this is like precious. We don't just let anyone touch us, ladies. So good. That was so good. Compliments to the chef. But remember that the recipe is going to be on my YouTube Shorts, my TikTok, and my Instagram. So make sure that you go and check all of them in case you want the recipe, because you do. Okay, so I pulled something up because I want to read it to you. I wanted to tell you about why the year of the snake is so significant. The snake represents wisdom, introspection, and elegance. And it's associated with transformation and shedding skin or old skin. There's also such a thing as snake people, or people having traits of a snake. And those traits are charming, if you're charming. You're a deep thinker. You have intuition, and your resourcefulness. You can also be secretive and cautious, which that is literally me to a T. The year of the snake, it challenges us to focus on ourselves and to go inward. The year of the snake encourages us to reflect on our choices in the past year, say for us, or years, and see how you're going to do things differently. Not from a place of necessarily starting over, but new beginnings and fresh starts. And you are being called to use your intuition a ton. And so a lot of the things that I've been talking about in the past couple months before the new year have actually been manifesting and becoming predictions of themselves, because a lot of the things that I'm talking about right now, I was talking about it with my friend. I'm always like in the know of something for some reason. I feel like Karen, isn't her name Karen from Mean Girls? And she's like, I got a fifth sense. Okay, anyway, so then there's transformations and renewals, like I said, and then it's also telling you to shed skin for the new year and embrace new beginnings. So there's that. And then strategic growth, which I thought was really interesting, because I'm really interested in strategic growth right now. And I'll tell you more about that later, but in a different video. But for now, it's all about snakes are known for being calculated and deliberate, intentional. And the year may emphasize strategic planning and patience for success. So patience in success could be success in love, success in blah, 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 blah. So you get the point. And then compatibility. So who you are compatible with, if you associate with snake-like people, or if your birth year is in the year of the snake. And if you don't know if your birth year is in the year of the snake, then I'm going to put it right here. And then you can see if you are a snake person based on the Lunar New Year that's coming up. And which I'm excited, because it's like, I feel like the Lunar New Year for me feels like a more real New Year. I don't know why I have like a weird spiritual connection to Lunar New Year over just like regular New Year. I kind of feel like I have two New Years. Like I'm able to expedite one life in the American or in the international New Year versus the Lunar New Year. It's like I have two opportunities to just quantum jump. But anyways, okay. So compatibility with snakes are going to be ox and roosters, which create harmony and cooperation. And I have been seeing a lot of harmony and cooperation in my life, which is so crazy, but okay. Elements in 2025 is the wood. So making it the wood snake year. In wood, it says it brings growth, creativity, flexibility, and it complements the snake's wisdom by encouraging collaboration and personal development, which is what we are talking about on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, gays and days. I gotta fix my shirt because we aren't on a date, honey. Okay, and okay, you're gonna put a ring here if you want to do anything else, okay? But anywho, and I was saying that this year is all about personal development. That's what we're talking about. That's what this channel is about. And commitment. You have to be committed. And then right after commitment, I'm gonna throw in there, you have to have a vision. Because if you're committed to your vision, then it's gonna come true. You're gonna fruition. You're gonna become this person that you've always wanted to become. You're gonna overcome the challenges that you want to overcome, and life is gonna get better for you. You just have to be patient. And tap into the energy of the snake when it comes to this, because there is something to be said about what our ancestors, whether you're your ancestors culturally or not, they are still ancestors of the world, in my opinion. And if they've already predicted certain things like this for us, and they're telling you information, what's the worst that could happen? That the predictions are wrong? Fine. But what if they're right? Have you thought about that? So tap into the energy of 2025 being the year of the snake, because you need vision and you need commitment, and you probably need it in that order. Because like I said, once you're committed, your life will change, but you have to be committed. And the other thing that I did while I was in my quiet era was I also did a lot of shadow healing. And shadow healing, girl, it is, it's that. It is a whirlwind. But I'll tell you what, how you come out of it after doing shadow work is, if you think I look good right now, honey, you wait until the end of this year, because this is the year of the snake, and we're talking transformation, honey, and we are on our fitness journey. But it changed my life, because I have lost a significant amount of weight. I've also recompositioned my body, and I'm way more feminine now than I've ever been. I even look more feminine. I even act more feminine. And just so many things change. Introspection is the other one. You really want to get some introspection. So when you go within, which we did talk about in my last video, the other thing to keep in mind when it comes to introspection is finding different angles about your life that you never saw your life in that way. Because in your mind, you could be thinking, oh, I've healed enough, or oh yeah, I have to work through this. And then you feel like you're working through it, and you are working through it, and you still have so much work to do. So try to figure out ways in which you're living your life outside of what you think is normally happening. So if you say, in this situation, I do this, and then say, well, if I wasn't in this situation, and you can say, well, if I wasn't dealing with this situation in this way, what would be another way that I can deal with the situation that's better than what I just made? And it just always kind of keeps you refining yourself to see where are the blind spots that you need to work on yourself. And part of the shadow healing that I was telling you about helps with the blind spots, because you'll start getting triggered by certain things, and you have to start creating such an awareness where you don't start triggering based on a response or something someone said or something that you saw, and that takes a lot of discipline. So you're gonna need discipline as well, a ton. So I would say these are the more important things that I did while I was in my quiet era. And then journaling, like I journaled. I also did voice memos on my phone to do voice memo entries, because I feel like that's more helpful for me for some reason. And then to expand on nutrition and talk about drinks. I've only been drinking water for God knows how long, probably about 3 years, actually, maybe 3 years, 4 years, a little bit back, but maybe 3 years sounds about more accurate. The other thing that I did that you're gonna do during your quiet era is you're gonna have to work on your mindfulness. Living a mindful life is living an intentional life. And how do you develop mindfulness? Well, easy, gratitude. When I mentioned that you'll be picking up journaling up during this quiet era, is because transforming your life means that you need to disconnect from the feeling of feeling like you're not in the place in life that you want to be. So in order to override that, you have to write down things that you're grateful for. And this is very hard in the beginning for some reason, because, well, actually I do know the reasons, because we're ungrateful. Because someone who's ungrateful cannot see all of the great things that are in their life. So when I started writing my gratitude journaling in my gratitude journaling notebook, I remember that I would write things like, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my friends, I'm grateful for da 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 da. And I would say it, but I didn't feel anything. It's almost like I said it because I had to say it. And it wasn't because I didn't feel that way. I have been emotionally stunted, or I have been emotionally unavailable. There you go. I have been emotionally unavailable for a really long time. Anyways, I had to do gratitude journaling if I wanted to overcome those negative thoughts that I've had, and to develop gratefulness and to develop gratitude. And so I did, and I started writing things down, things that I was grateful for that I didn't even think I should be grateful for, like the opportunity to be able to have lights on, right, and so forth. And so that happened, you know, for years, where I was developing my gratitude muscle, and then I started seeing all the blessings in my life. Literally, I started seeing the blessings that were already in my life, and which made space to create new energy to attract even more things that are good into my life, and so on and so forth. And it's a chain reaction. So, but journaling, mindfulness, gratitude, those are all the things that are going to set you up for success and starting to generate some feelings, because feeling is a connection to manifesting your desires, your deepest desires at that. The other thing is spirituality. I've said this enough, I feel like, but I'm always going to say it when we're having this conversation. But spirituality is also a very important part of the journey. So if you are not a meditator, or if you don't pray, you might want to figure out some kind of system that replicates that same feeling. So for you, that could be just journaling rather than doing all three. So, you know, you could, and when you're done with your quiet era, you're going to know. One day, it's like I said on X, one day you're just going to wake up and just get over it. It just happens. It just clicks. Like you finally hit your last straw. And let me tell you, the straw that broke the camel's back has been broken, and we have learned our lessons. And I am telling you, and I am telling you, that lady cracks me up. She probably did see something, but whatever. We won't talk about conspiracies in this video. When you're done, you will be unrecognizable. Unrecognizable. People will be in shock. And I mean in shock, because it just happened like maybe a week ago. I hadn't seen someone in like a month. And I haven't done anything remotely different. Imagine you, we're in the holiday season. We were drinking, you know I was drinking, you know I was eating, girl. I was not stopping this mouth from doing what it had to do during the holiday season. And she's like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. Oh my God, oh my gosh. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm fine. Why? She goes, oh my God, you lost so much weight. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, like I'll take it, but it's the way that I carry myself. But again, like the transformation is insane. And that's, to tie it all back together, that's what today's video is all about. Your quiet era is about you needing to do what you have to do to metamorphosis, to be the phoenix, to be the snake, to transform into the version of yourself that you've always wanted to become. And I cannot find anything more empowering. I cannot find anything else to give about than myself. After giving my precious love, energy, attention, beauty, youth, spirit, soul to things and people and whatever that did not deserve it, honey, why? Because we don't know our worth, because we don't have standards, because we do not have boundaries, and that stops. That stops right here, right now. And 2025 is the year of the snake. It's a year of the transformation. It is a year that you transform into the best version of yourself. And your quiet era, you're gonna need her. So I wish you girls the best on this journey, and I cannot wait to talk to you in the next weekend, because I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we're talking about in February, which I'm so excited about, because love is my favorite frequency, and obviously February being the month of love, I'm going to create some really great self-love content, but I want you to get prepared for February. So we're going to talk a little bit more about things that I recommend that you do and prepare. And I think we are in the full moon now, if I'm not mistaken. So if you do see this video around the full moon, which today is 1/11, then you might want to start, looking at the things that you wrote down during the new moon and see how many of those things came true. And then assess them again and plant them again and manifest on them until the new moon, so you can plant those seeds and they can start growing sprouts. So until then, I will let you ladies go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and cheers.